That's not the goal. In fact, I don't even know why there's a definite article there, because the goal makes it sound like this is what we're all aiming to do. We're not. My goal is to dismantle white supremacy. My goal is to dismantle oppressive systems within the public school network. My goal is to make racists feel incredibly uncomfortable. Furthermore, your assumption that the goal to have all of us get along makes the assumption that that's the only problem, that we're just not getting along. It completely ignores oppressive systems and a history of oppressive systems and generational trauma and generational wealth gaps. And the list is so long. Not only is this comment oversimplified, but it's actually damaging, detrimental, and the antithesis of anti-racist work.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a fucking idiot.
And we are back. It's that time again, guys. We're back. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having an amazing day. And I'm going to be upfront and honest with you right off the bat here. I'm not feeling my usual chipper and upbeat self. The reason for that is, as I was putting this video together last night and this morning, checking out some TikToks, some news stories, some video clips, I came to the conclusion that we are absolutely, utterly, and completely sorry. I mean, I'm just being blunt with you guys. And since I've come to that conclusion, we have a new theme song here at the channel. Drums, please.
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
All right, that's our new theme song. So you guys are probably saying, "Oh, Mike, what is so bad? What is so bad that you? I mean, obviously things have been bad for a while. What is going on that you've come to this conclusion today?" Well, stick with me because you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about in today's episode of Epic Woke TikTok Fails.
TikTok is degenerate trash.
Correct.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay?
No truer words have ever been spoken, ever. It does give me hope to see, if you look at the screen now, though, Dr. St. Fauci has a documentary on National Geographic. The official trailer came out, 7.2 thousand thumbs up, 74,000 thumbs down. That gives me a little bit of hope, a little bit. We may change that, our new anthem here at the channel. That gives me a little bit of hope. But then you look at people like the guy in the first clip. I mean, the comment says the goal is for us to get along and blend as a society. I feel it is counterproductive to do this with this person. Saying this person doesn't want to get along. These people don't want to get along with people like you and me and us. They think somehow we're the enemy or something. They don't want to get along with us. So, once again, we may be keeping the new theme song, the new anthem. Anyway, we got a quick video today. Before we get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. We have two sponsors of today's video. Today's video is being brought to you by, first off, Denise S. Denise has been a member of the greatest community on the YouTubes for quite a while. She sponsored a few videos. She also helps out a lot over on my buddy Mouseball's channel, MAGA Mouse. She is a living legend over there. And Denise left a comment that said, Mike, you got to do more videos of Goose over on GooseTube. So I think that's a really good idea to kind of get us out of all this madness and insanity. So if you're not subscribed to GooseTube, which Goose is my French bulldog, he's the mascot here. He's got his own channel, GooseTube. Go subscribe over there. I think I'm going to start doing at least two videos a week to put up there just to lift everybody's spirits up. That dog will bring you right out of a bad mood in a hot second. So great idea. And thank you so much, Denise, for sponsoring today's video, as well as Today's video being brought to you by John Fisher. John is a legend in this community. John, I missed you for the past, 3 or 4 days. I wasn't sure what happened. I was hoping you're okay, but John's note said that his Wi-Fi's been down, so I hadn't seen you for a while. I want to make sure you're all right. So I'm glad that you're okay, John, and thank you so much, sir, for sponsoring today's video. Thank you both so much. If you would like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description box below. And I will say your full name, unless stated otherwise by you, nickname, username, however you want to do it, that's what we're going to do. You guys sponsoring these videos and helping support the channel are keeping this ship afloat as the YouTube's overlords are trying to sink us. We're not going to let them. Let's get into it. Oh, and one more thing before we dive into this first. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Become a member of the greatest community on the YouTubes. Join us all on this journey. We're trying to stay positive and keep laughing. As you can see, it's getting harder and harder by the day. Roll the film, please.
We are almost 2 years into the worst public health catastrophe in modern history. And what's happened for many of us is that we've learned to associate maskless faces with the threat of spreading COVID-19. For many of us, when we see a face without a mask on, the brain has learned to register that visual stimuli as a threat. The amygdala, which is the brain's smoke detector, then sends out a stress response signal that triggers the sympathetic nervous system into the fight, flight, or freeze response. I'm just hopping on here to normalize that because COVID-19 is still a threat. And the reaction that we have to seeing maskless faces isn't just emotional or intellectual, it's also physiological.
I'm gonna take this damn mask off.
I don't think anything like this lady just said. Not one bit of it. Not one of those thoughts crossed my head at all. Moving right along. That's how flustered these people get me. I meant to say none of that's crossed my mind. I said none of that's crossed my head. These people get me. I think goose videos are going to be a good solid change for a little bit. All right. A white person that, I don't know, hates white people. Roll the film.
Okay, one, yes, I'm sitting in my car because my daughter's asleep. And yes, I'm using a beauty filter because it's been a long day educating the world's youth and I need it. But, like, is anyone else tired of this, like, audio that's like, what's not clicking, Steven? Like, I'm over it, especially when white women do it. Like, I'm just so tired of seeing white women use audios on TikTok that are, like, clearly given to us by the black community, by black content creators. And, like, no credit given. No recognition of, like, where this originated. Like, the amount of clout that white women have gotten off the backs of black content creators is unreal. Imagine a world where Addison Rae could only use content made by white people. Like, that bitch would be a bum. And let me just be clear, I use the word bitch in a very loving term. Like, I don't think Addison Rae is a bitch, okay? I don't even know her. This is the internet. But what I'm saying is, like, if white content creators only used audios and, challenges that were created by other white content creators, I don't think that this app would have as many white content creators with millions of followers and millions of dollars. Like, the amount of money and notoriety these people have is honestly credited almost solely to black content creators. Okay, I had no idea that I had changed the speed of the audio, and now, like, I went back and watched it, and it's embarrassing. But I'm going to keep it because, like, I got through a lot of points in a small amount of time, so we're going with it. I don't mean this to come across like I'm saying white people should stick to white people shit and black people should stick to black people shit. Like, that sounds really divisive, and that's really not what I'm trying to say. But it just kind of speaks to the privilege that white people have, that anything that they want, they just take for themselves and use for their benefit.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
That sums it up. Moving right along. All right, this one is fairly frightening. Roll the film, please.
I took my trans daughter to see her pediatrician for the first time since she has come out as trans. I called ahead to give them a heads up, and they assured me everything would be okay. When I got there, it was not okay. When we brought up the subject of puberty blockers, which we were just asking for information at this point, the doctor said, "Oh, I do not have any trans patients, and I don't know anything about that." But then proceeded to ask questions such as, have you researched people who regret transitioning? No. No, I haven't. Because that's not really my concern right now. My concern is to make sure my child doesn't turn into a statistic and unalive herself because she's not being loved and validated. So we're finding a new doctor.
You're sick. I really mean that. You're sick.
So the doctor makes a simple suggestion to do a little research. She doesn't say how old her daughter is, but it seems like this parent is so excited to have a trans daughter that she doesn't even happen to maybe read a book or ask some questions. And you know what? We just happen to have a story for her. It says, "Why are you detransitioning, if you don't mind me asking?" Roll the film, please.
So I've always had really weird feelings about my gender identity. Since I was like 4 years old, I would say stuff like, I want to be a boy, I'm not a girl. And in early high school, I was really into like 2013, 2014 Tumblr. So I learned a lot about like gender fluidity and things like that there. So I identified as like genderqueer when I was, in early high school. And then I also really heavily resonated with what a lot of trans men were saying online. I had this very apparent feeling like I wasn't good at being a girl and that I would just be happier being a boy. But then 5 years into being a trans man, I still felt incomplete. I started feeling regret. And so I detransitioned about a year ago, and I feel happier in my own skin than I've ever felt. I also realized that having biological kids was really important to me, so that was definitely a huge factor as well.
So there you have it. And that's just one story. I know. But we don't know if the lady's talking about her 5 or 6 year old daughter who doesn't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know. This is a subject that we aren't even supposed to be talking about here on the YouTube. So we're just going to leave it at that. Bravo for this person for, it's too bad that when they're young, they think that they have to make these drastic choices instead of just realizing that people are uncomfortable in their own skin. It's a part of being a human being. Moving right along. This guy again. Agosexuality. Get out your pen and papers, your notebooks. We got a new word to learn. If you guys are still keeping track. Roll it.
So let's talk about agosexuality. So agosexuality is an identity on the asexual spectrum. It's one of the micro labels. And it describes people who have a comfort level with sexual things, like they may experience sexual fantasies, or they may be comfortable watching sexual content, reading erotic stories, or watching erotic movies, but they don't want to participate in sexual activity. So an agosexual person might have sexual fantasies, but they won't be part of that fantasy. Or maybe they really enjoy porn, but are not willing to have sex. So for agosexual folks, there's a disconnect between themselves and objects of sexual attraction. That's it. The A spectrum is the coolest spectrum.
That is the stupidest thing I ever heard of. Jesus Christ.
Listen, I don't know what this guy's talking about. I don't know if that's the thing, but I just don't understand why these people think that it's important to make TikToks about. Like I said, guys, we're moving right along. All right, this is gonna be enough TikToks for now. We're almost done. Now, these are the stories that I was talking about in the beginning that are just absolutely going to blow your mind. All right, this is where all faith is lost. We've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of these ridiculous TikToks. A lot of them for just the clicks or the attention or whatever it is. These aren't those. These are real. This is real. This is real life here. This isn't the woke world of TikTok insanity. This is real life. This is our commander-in-chief. No, excuse me. This is the former vice president, Joe Biden, supposed leader of the free world. Roll the film, please.
Also, we've got state leadership here. Lieutenant Governor Julius here, Stratton, and I'm from Pennsylvania. The Illinois president of Don Harmon, State Senator Laura Murphy, State Rep Martin Moylan, and we got great labor leaders here too. Tim, where's Tim? There you go, Tim. Thank you. Thank you, pal. AFL-CIO State President. And Jeff Isaacson, United Brotherhood of Carpenters, and Don Finn, IBW, and Robert Reiter, R-E-I-T-E-R, Reader. You know, if I can digress for just a second, last night I was on the television. I was on the telephone, you know. At any rate,
What the? You will? What? Have you got a stutter? Yeah. Oh, okay, drop it.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
God, it's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. This is a big problem. This is a big problem. All right, sorry. Listen, we're going to be wrapping it up soon. If you made it this far, give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. You guys know I cannot do this alone. Thank you so much for trudging ahead. Once again, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video, Denise S. and John Fisher, two amazing members of the greatest community on the YouTubes, always showing all kinds of love and support. Thank you. You guys are amazing. If you'd like to sponsor the next video, there's a PayPal link in the description box below if you want to help support the channel. I will say your name, full name as sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Become a member of this absolutely amazing community. You guys are the best. Couple more stories to blow your mind and we'll wrap it up. This next one is absolute insanity that is mind-blowing. The school shooter in Texas that shot, I think, 3 or 4 people. Thank God none of them have died. He's been released on bail, $75,000 bail. I don't even know if he paid the whole thing. I heard it was $25,000 cash of the 75. Roll the film, please.
Say you're sorry to your teacher. Or the teacher. Anything maybe you want to say anything? You want to say anything to your family?
And if you're just joining us here, the 18-year-old Timothy George Simpkins, who is charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, just came out of jail here, and we are...
Wait, whoa! What the
Yeah, figure that one out. And so remember we've been showing all these all these videos and TikTok clips of all these people in Chicago, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco running into these stores and just loading up trash bags and stealing all kinds of stuff, just walking right out of the stores in broad daylight. And I mentioned in the video yesterday that they all had something in common. Well, of course, it was their hoodies. And when I first saw a picture of this guy, he had a hoodie on too. So I'm like, oh, he has something in common with all the other ones. They all have hoodies, but he doesn't have his hoodie on in this news clip. So moving right along. This popped up on my Twitter feed this morning. Like, isn't June Pride Month? Like, I saw this on my Twitter feed and I said, it says October is LGBTQ History Month. Is annual observance in October of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer history and the history of the gay rights movement. It was created in 1994 by Missouri high school teacher Rodney Wilson. National Coming Out Day is October 11th. Like, I thought this was June. Like, huh? What? And then down below, share your thoughts? No. You don't want me to share my thoughts. Trust me on that.
Ha! Gay!
All right, and I think this is the most mind-blowing story of them all. Of them all! George Floyd is getting a football field named after him from his high school that he went to. Yes, they're naming a football field after George Floyd. Roll the film, please.
Tonight, the Houston ISD board decided to honor George Floyd by naming the football field at his alma mater, Yates High School, after him. But this decision is causing controversy tonight. Matt Doherty was at the heated board meeting this evening and joins us now to explain. Matt?
It's the field where George Floyd once played football, and although no varsity games will take place there, it will still bear his name. In a unanimous decision, HISD board members decided the practice field at Jack Yates High School will now be called the George Perry Floyd Jr. Community and Athletic Field. Although all board members supported naming the field after the former Yates High School graduate, not everyone else did.
Don't matter what you vote tonight, it ain't gonna be that name when it's all said and done. Don't disrespect my legacy.
Wait a minute. That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
Yeah, some people weren't too happy about that. The OG here didn't like that at all.
Not everyone else did.
Don't matter what you vote tonight, it ain't gonna be that name when it's all said and done. Don't disrespect my legacy.
Yates High School alumni members who also played football here many years ago challenged naming the field after Floyd.
It don't sit well with the rest of the community, the older generation.
Others say members of the community were solicited by HISD and voted to name the field after Floyd.
It is also the will of the community to name it after our alumni, George Perry Floyd, and what he stood for.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
A shining example of what can happen when you from the tray.
The high school is named after Houstonian Jack Yates, who was a former slave who became a leader in Houston's black community after the Civil War. Tonight, his great-great-great-granddaughter was asked by her family to attend the school board meeting, which she says they learned about at the last minute.
We don't mind working with the community, but we want the community leaders to also recognize that the lineage is still here. Our legacy is still here.
The brother of George Floyd says he's not surprised the proposition was controversial.
I'm not really surprised because a lot of people want the stadium to be named after them. It was a lot of great athletes.
Yes, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
What? What? Oh my God. I told you guys, I told you that you would see why I wasn't feeling it today. Because I think we're completely screwed. You heard former VP Joe, he can't even get a sentence out without school shooter walks out of jail the next day? What? Meanwhile, you got people sitting behind bars for 7-8 months, no bail for trespassing. I'm not going to get into that. And then this guy's having a football field. What? That's a wrap. All right. Denise and John, thank you guys so much for sponsoring today's video. You guys are amazing. And all you guys crushing that thumbs up button, lighting that comment section up, sharing these videos out. I couldn't ask for any more love and support from you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys honestly give me hope and faith. Truly, honestly, 100%. You guys keep me motivated and inspired. You guys give me hope and faith. So thank you so much for that. I love each and every one of you for being a part of this amazing community. And as we go, we might as well end it with the new anthem to this channel, our theme song. Peace till next time, guys.
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.